Hey guys, it's Jackie from Homeschool Hangout by Nerd Family. Does your student have a challenging subject? Why more time on that subject could be bad is what we're going to talk about today. Before we get into it, do me a favor, subscribe, like, hit all the buttons, and come join us over on Homeschool Hangout by Nerd Family, the Facebook group. The details will be down in the description, and let's get into it. So let's say your student has a challenging subject. You should limit how much time they work on that challenging subject. Now, for those of you who are going to see another video I'm actually filming today, I'm not necessarily talking about just history or just English or just grammar. I'm talking about kind of like a project or a group of things you're doing. And so don't think that I'm talking about, oh, they can only think about math for so long or only history so long. It's whatever they're working on that is challenging them. And what do I mean by that? Well, I know, for example, Algebra 2 was a bit of a stickler for my high school kids. And one of my children would sit there for hours and get nothing done if I let him. And you'd say, oh, go do your homework, hop around, do a little bit. We've laid this structure out before. And you'd walk in and you'd say, so what'd you get done? And he'd be like, I've gotten 3 problems done. Okay, what'd you get done in lit? I've just been working on math. No. So we have a timer on Mondays. And that timer is you work on an hour for math, then you change subjects. Why? And that hour is for high school students who are doing Algebra 2, specifically my high school students. And why? Well, we're going to get into the law of diminishing returns. And for those of you who haven't heard the phrase the law of diminishing returns, basically what that means is after a certain amount of effort or time into anything, the benefit and profit you get out of it is going to be minimized. That is true. They say you spend 20% of your time doing 80% of your work. And this isn't just homework. This isn't business models. This isn't cleaning your house. Think about when you clean your house, that first 20 minutes, you're flying, you're getting things done. And then at some point you just like putter and lose steam and aren't quite as productive. That is the law of diminishing returns. Now, for my kids, we've kind of said, first day of the week, you got all your subjects, spend an hour, take a 10-minute break. Spend another hour, take a 10-minute break. We picked an hour. Why an hour? You don't want your time period to be so short that as you're getting into your groove, you have to get up and leave it. We've all been there, right? You're like, I just got going. I just understand it and now I'm done. We don't want to get into that. So what that time limit is going to look like is going to change for each of your students. But if you're finding that they're spending a bunch of time on a subject and just getting more frustrated, or, let's be honest, they don't tell you they're frustrated. What they do is they stare blankly off and they just sit there and you're like, dude, are you doing homework? You're not writing anything down. You don't see, I'm thinking. My children can be the most contemplative, deep thinkers in the world with that mentality. In reality, they are thinking, but they've hit a wall, and we all hit walls. And I personally like to set that time frame up before they hit the wall versus you're sitting next to me and you haven't written anything down for 10 minutes. Go, I don't know, take a jog around the house, go change the laundry, whatever that is. Instead of that, we set that timer to get ahead. Now, sometimes we tend to do this on like a Monday. They'll say, you know what? I have this one project that's going to take me 3 hours, let's say. Let's say they're building out a history project or a research project. And on that case, we go, oh, okay, so now you've given an hour. You see how much work it's really going to be. How much work do you think you can do before you hit that wall? And we may negotiate on that. But we found that that really does save a lot of time, of frustration, sitting there wanting to bang their head into the table. It also gives them a cue of when to ask for help. As my children are getting older, and frankly, I've kind of always been this mom and teacher, I very much say, here's your homework. See how you understand it. Come back to me for any questions. And it gives them kind of a break to think about, okay, I've been looking at this problem a long time. I need to ask for help. Because that's the other challenge we found. Well, I just don't know how to do this problem and I'm trying to figure it out. I'm like, you've spent 15 minutes, 20 minutes on trying to figure out this one problem. Why didn't you ask for help? I didn't realize it'd been that long. So that's the other thing. That break kind of gives you a moment to say, how's it going? oh, it's going okay. I'm really struggling with this one thing. You want some help? Sometimes they'll say no, in which case because my kids are older, I let them do that. I try to give them that freedom. But it may be that time to check in and help redirect them to be a little bit more productive, shall we say. So those are my 2 cents on why spending too much time on any one subject at a time can be actually a hindrance to learning. What do you think? What were your subjects or just tasks in life that you realize after you've been doing it for a while, you're no longer productive at? Do me a favor, leave me a comment down below. Come join me on Facebook. And hopefully I'll have this posted there and we can talk about it over there in a thread too. And I will talk to you all later. Bye.